But you know why women can't disqualify men for sleeping with a bunch of women?
Why?
Because men control who gets married and get relationships. If women were the ones who would propose, and we had to be the ones to say I do, we had to be the ones to make ourselves suitable husbands to them and fit in their system and submit to them. Then us sleeping with multiple women might be a factor.
Wait, so wait, how you said it like that's not a possibility? Like women can't ask men to marry them. They
You
just
want to
don't.
you want to bridge the equality gap. So
No,
you
no,
want
it
to
ain't
bridge this
that. It ain't
equality
that.
gap
It
so
ain't that.
bad.
I'm just arguing your logic. That's
That is
all.
not my logic.
Your logic was the reason why there's the double standard, that standard exists, and why women can't do it is because men control access to marriage. And then your example is because we're the ones that propose. So if women start proposing to men, then now all of a sudden they control access to marriage.
If women start proposing as the standard, then and we submit to women, then obviously we had to meet a criteria. Right. That's true.
They would have to be in mass doing that, so the social construct changes from what it is now. The social
Exactly.
construct.
So that still makes
Fair
no
enough. No, it doesn't.
It does. It does. You try to you caught another
Oh
L,
man,
Tony.
it doesn't, man.
If women controlled marriage,
How did you draw that line?
Hold on, let me repeat it. If women control marriage and men submit to women on a grand scale, I think sort of like Marcus just stated, as a mass, then we would have to fit into their systems. We would have to meet their preferences in order to be suitable husbands.
But what does that have to? Never mind, bro.
Let me get some other people in now. Go ahead, Nelson. I got you, Trev, next.
So there's definitely a double standard, but I think that it's something that's been shifting. Like it hasn't always been like this. We're seeing a lot of role reversal. I can speak to that myself just in seeing couples that come into my office. Like there's because of the earning potential of women and kind of like entering into the workforce and being able to be self-sufficient, things like that. Now there are women that have good lifestyles that end up getting with men that are more passive, that want to be taken care of, that can't hold on to a job, and you see the power dynamic inside that type of relationship. So I've had couples that have come in with that type of relationship and the women have gone on and cheated on them because they said that they weren't men or they weren't fulfilling their needs. And I've also had men that control the power dynamic and they've cheated, and it's been different reasonings. I think though for me it always comes down to motive, the reasoning behind it. For men, a lot of times when they cheat, and this is not black and white all cases, but a lot of times when men cheat, it can be purely sexual and no intimacy or emotion behind it. That is now, that is something that is still changing, because you're starting to see more and more women that have those characteristics, but traditionally that's what you've seen from men. With women, the idea used to be that they needed to form an emotional connection to the person that they're sleeping with before they engage in doing that. So for a lot of men, when they find out that their woman cheated on them, it cut differently, because that means that they became attached to somebody else, and moving on together would require them to detach from the person that they had that connection with. So I mean, there is a double standard. I've seen too many couples that have divorced, gotten back together, like different role reversal to kind of put it all in one pot.
All right, go ahead, Trev.
All right, so I'm just gonna have to take all that back about it not ruining him. I think that she groomed his ass. It is what it is. Like, for him to be coming out speaking this nonsense that he is right now, it's it's wild. I don't know where the hell he got it from. It like that's to me that just sounds bizarre for him to even be able to consider coming back to a woman who done got railed by 6-7 dudes. That's just outrageous to me. Like,
Okay, your name is Jesus. Okay,
what are
your
we
name
doing?
is Jesus.
What are we doing? And then he even got into more weird stuff after that, like talking about switching girls and all of that kind of stuff. Like to me, he just I don't know, his viewpoints on relationship dynamics are pretty skewed. They're weird. I don't know. I can't like I'm with Shannon Sharp on this one. It's just a no. I do realize that statistically, there's a lot more men. It's gotten closer, like Nelson said, as far as men and women, like who will return to a relationship. And some studies show that more men would actually stay in a marriage after cheating. I know, Sweeney, you were bringing that stat up a couple weeks ago. So I don't see how they do it, because to me, that's it. You poisoned the well. It's over. It ain't no more rap, period, for me. I can never come back to that under any circumstances. I don't care how far or how deep we are into the relationship. That's a violation. That's just not for me, right? I don't know. Anecdotally, it kind of seems different, because most of the people that I hang around as dudes, they don't. They kind of feel like the way I do, like they would never do it. But I've seen a lot of women go through it. But I guess different cultures, different strokes for different folks. Some men will go ahead and take that. I don't see how they do it though. I can't see it. I'm with you on that, Marcus, because that's, to me, that's wild. And I do think that there should be a double standard, and because the main thing about it is most men, normal men, can have sex, in my opinion, without necessarily an emotional attachment. Now, I've never met a woman who I would want to date who would be able to have sex with a man without an emotional attachment. And that's a problem. She really has to be into that guy. She has to like that guy. She has to serve that dude for her to offer her body in most cases. And again, if she has the ability to separate that and just make it sexual, then that's not a woman that I would want to be involved with on any capacity outside of sex.
I think there's something special about a woman being a vessel for your children, and knowing that your children are coming through her eggs and her vagina, and to have somebody else ejaculate sperm into it is another thing. If you wanted to peel back the layers that kind of make it disgusting, versus a man just shooting nut out, it's totally different. Nothing comes inside of him unless he, of course, get an STD or some shit like that.
STD.
And to further push your point, Darwin, I think that what would be exactly the same as a woman getting entered by another man. If a man did that to the woman's man, she would feel the same way. I think it's the act of penetration that really push it past the point.
Pause, man.
I'm saying, because that would be, so when somebody like raid your village or comes into your home, it's different than you raiding somebody else's village and coming to somebody else's home. You might be able to get forgiven for raiding somebody's village, but ain't nobody forgiving you for getting your village raided, is what I'm saying. The act of entering. I might not be fleshing it out perfectly, but I think there's something to, like, it's the reason why we worry as fathers about our daughters being entered by somebody, our wife being entered by somebody, but we don't worry about our son entering somebody. But if somebody was trying to enter our son, it would be a huge issue. They're both acts of sex. One is on the receiving, one is on the giving end.
I get what you're saying. So basically, you're saying, like, if you're riding down the street and you threw some trash out of the window, the person on the passenger side, hey, man, don't do that. That's not cool. But if somebody from the outside threw some trash into your car, you probably want to get out and fight them.
Exactly. It's that bad. Yeah, it is. I get it. Yeah, even though both is throwing trash, it's the same thing. Yeah. But it's way worse when you throw it inside.
Mm-hmm. Because now you got to get that shit out. You know what I'm saying? It's get all sticky. I mean,
you got to deal with the repercussions of it. You got all type of stuff. It like you can go visit anybody's house and not care, but it's real different to let who you let come to your house.
I don't care.
So my question is, if Ray J is okay with it, then why does it matter?
Ray J high. He ain't okay with that
What?
shit.
See, here y'all go again. Like
Ray J ass.
it
That
went
nigga
on-
went in here behind a plant in that
and
same
I-
interview.
Like, I
Hey,
remember
I
that
get
he was going in what's that guy named Fabulous? He came in Fabulous. I'm like,
because I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Marcus. The only thing is that with him specifically, it don't matter. Now, if he was coming out telling, well, nah, because he was trying to tell everybody else to accept his logic as well. So that's where the problem come in at. But if he don't find nothing wrong with it, then would it really technically be the same? If he don't view it that way,